I personally love time skips in anime. There's always that hype surrounding how certain characters are going to look in the new season episode. And who doesn't enjoy a solid glow up? With so many to pick from, this will take a look at all those ugly ducklings that came back with a bang. All anime glow ups on the table here. And permanent transformations are also fair game.
Yeah. Came at 17. Damn. Give me my money.
I honestly didn't like Eren all that much going into the series. But man, did the fourth season have some surprises in store for me. Not only did he become this cynical badass who might take over the world, he also came back looking fresh as hell. Sure, he looked pretty scruffy when he was first revealed. But during the scene where he met up with a certain group of followers, you know the one, he looked fresh as hell. Just goes to show you should never judge a book by its first season adaptation. Kei Saranuma, with great hotness comes great responsibility. This is a lesson that Kei had to learn after she melted away all of her excess weight and started dressing to impress. I also have to mention that she lost this weight not at the gym, but in her room, as she was crying over the death of an anime character. Haven't we all been there? At least she came out of the whole ordeal looking like a 10 out of 10. And she can now use her newfound good looks to manipulate boys and stimulate her yaoi fantasies. Yes, that's what the show is about. And yes, it is amazing. This transformation really shouldn't have mattered as much as it did. And yet it was so amazing. Although Kaneki just embraced his ghoul side and had his hair turn purple, he just seemed like a completely different dude, physically and mentally. He went from a simp to a hot topic franchise that would make all the edge lords rejoice at the sight of his face. Although being tortured isn't the most fun way to achieve a transformation, it sure worked for him. Adult Simon is what every short kid wanted to become once they grew older. Considering that he was a little runt when the series started, no one could have guessed that he would grow into this tall, handsome, badass leader that we saw by the end. The fact that he also took some fashion tips from Karma, the ultimate husbando of them all, only elevated him further on the glow-up scale. Plus, having the confidence to back up all that hotness makes him an even better overall package. This is kind of a cheap shot, but I just have to talk about adult Gon. It's somewhat debatable whether Gon will actually look like that once he has grown, as it was more in line of materializing his ultimate potential. But I don't care. The transition of Kid Gon to adult Gon was so great that I just had to highlight it. I mean, just look at that absolute beefcake of a man. Look at that glorious flowing hair. Don't look at what he's doing to Patu's body. Just look at that jawline. Is this show the best written drama ever? Hell no, and we've got a list for that. But is it enjoyable to watch as a previously fat kid? Oh yeah. It's all about Masamune and his grand plan to get revenge on a girl that called him Piggy when he was little. The nickname stung, and so he did what any sane person would do. Create a life mission to become the hottest dude around so that he could one day seduce that very same woman, and then reject her, completing the circle of pain. Coping mechanisms. Although he did become quite a beefcake, his revenge isn't going to be as easy as he thought. I think we all remember where we were the first time we saw this transformation. I can remember it like it was yesterday. This character that was introduced as a little cute kid, was actually a bodacious gorgeous fox of a woman all along. Anime lovers around the world simultaneously grasped their heart and questioned their sexualities, as this was one glow up that none of us were prepared for. I almost feel like it should have come with a warning or something. 2. Raftalia. You often hear people say, kids grow up so fast. But I don't think they meant as fast as Raftalia. Her transformation took no time at all, as she went from a tiny little adorable girl to a tall sophisticated woman who could cut out your liver in an instant. I mean, she is still a child at heart. Especially when Naofumi's around. But I still had to highlight her any percent speedrun through puberty. The icing on the cake is the fact that she kept her overpowered pouting ability. 1. Ruka Urushibara. Even though this was the most short-term glow-up on this list, I just had to save it for number 1. Ruka has always been both best girl and best boy in the show, that much is clear. But I was not prepared for his transformation. She's probably the most beautiful and badass katana-wielding middle-aged man that I have ever seen in my life. And if that previous sentence reads a bit off, you must be new to the anime scene. I can also give an honorable mention to R. Madhu Hacker, from the same series, but only one can be in first place.
كم سنة وأنا حبك